their team hope alive inside the ESL 1 Frankfurt Chinese qualifier. This is just the first round, and Newbee are already struggling, forced into a Game 3 up against Energy Pacemaker, the newer guys on the block. As far as the bracket goes, the winner of this goes on to face... Hold up. Want to make sure we don't miss first blood here. We shouldn't. Wisp Bristleback is not a whole lot of catch potential out of that. Anyway, the winner of this will face up against eHome, who beat DK 2-1. And just a small update, I don't think we're going to see anything out of that. Man, EP are playing this very aggressively. What a standoff here. Look at these teams. Now it's going to be EP who start breaking back first. The Fisher gets laid down, almost palming the Lina. They do get that kill. Boom, meanwhile, is going to be stunned up and taken down in return. But first blood, 1-for-1 so far. Bristleback is going to go down to the right click. They're going to turn on to Sunshine next. But Fan just wants to get out of here. It looks like he's got Searing Chains back up. Old Chicken is looking for more. They get the stun onto Rabbit. Can they actually lock him down? Impale goes out. Earthspike gets the kill. Old Chicken and crew. Fisher laid down. Old Chicken is going to go down to that last right click of Sansheng. Now they're going to chase down Banana. In return, it's a massacre back and forth, 3-3. So far, Newbee are actually the ones who are coming out on top. June, well, he got the chain on him. Maybe this isn't a good idea. He thought he could fight. But he is going to be forced back. And Newbee, that is very much to their favor. I mean, first of all, they got the first blood, right? Second of all, their cores already got back to lane, except for top, which is the Earthshaker. But they're two different cores. The Troll and the Queen of Pain both died and got back to lane with full HP, so they're kind of good. Meanwhile, you're going to have this very stalled up period of time where Ember Spirit is not farming. Instead, the Lina is going to be taking over that top lane and giving that early level 2, which is helpful, I suppose, but... yeah, it's very weird. I mean, you could see how close the level 1 engagement really was, that it ends up 3-3 like that, but... very surprised that EP tried to force it that early on. Didn't actually think they would do that. Didn't feel like they had strong enough lanes. Bottom lane, Rabbit is going to be going down here. They're going to just chase for the Quills. One more set, and Rabbit will end up falling. No backup as the supports are still trying to return to lane, and Banana, as the Chen is actually rotating around to try and get a kill on the Storm Spirit. Now we'll see if he's successful with the Hellbear Smasher. If he actually gets in range to clap, it's a kill, but... don't know if that's going to be possible or not. Old Chicken's trying to block off, get the creep equilibrium to hit inside as best as possible to get the slow. Hellbear Smasher is going to be able to hit Old Chicken, and they do get the right click down. Banana takes the kill. So 4-5 in the first 2 minutes. Interesting game so far, that's for sure. Lina comes into the middle lane trying to collect some experience, but... Old Chicken's back here already. The bounty rune picked up by Moo. Does have the bottle coming out to him now. Early boots of speed picked up by Banana. That is a sign of a lot of early aggression out of this Chen. To go for the boots first instead of trying to go for an early mech. Wouldn't be surprised if he picks up another smoke and tries to gank up the Storm Spirit again. Moo, though, with just this 1 kill advantage, is going to be sitting in a great position in this middle lane. So perhaps it's better for Banana to gank up the bottom lane, where the Wisp Bristleback are going to be causing some issues up against the Troll and the Lion. Poor little Courier weighed down by the heavy bottom. This is actually, what, twice in a row that we haven't seen the immediate upgrade in time for 3 minutes. The Wisp is healing up the Bristleback with the TP in from Moo. Could actually change this engagement to the favor. Oh, never mind. EP actually realizing that they can turn this one. The Bristleback is so tanky thanks to the Wisp and all the bottle charges he got. that Newbee can't actually force the fight despite the fact that it was 3 versus 2. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Missed the kill on the Earthshaker. I realized we were getting some mega spam in the chat. I had to ban it away. Unfortunately, for those of you guys who don't know, Join Dota does the probably about like every month or two, we do an in-house staff cup. Unfortunately, I am not playing because I'm doing the casting here, but a lot of our volunteer staff, such as moderators, tournament admins, they're all playing in this in-house staff cup right now. So that means that no one was paying attention to our chat. And our chat was getting spammed. Kappa no like spam. CS-wise, where's the score line here? It's 21-5 on the experience. They're gonna go for the kill on Sansheng here. Very ballsy setup, and it's gonna cost him a lot here. Ellie's gonna die, taken down by the right clicks of the Chen. Fortunately, the Bristleback was able to get away, but they didn't get the kill on Sansheng. In fact, he's feeling ballsy enough, especially with the Tranquil Boots versus the Bristleback. Normally, you would see like, okay, one is a must-have, but these Tranquil Boots really paying off against the Quill spam damage. So June gave away an early kill, but he seems to be doing all right now. He's got level 4 by 5.5 minutes in. For an Earthshaker off lane, I would say that's acceptable. Obviously, you can't compare him to the other off lane, as Bristleback with a Wisp is a really powerful dual lane. And they've actually been able to pick up kills in that bottom. For those of you guys who know, Navi and Team Tinker, that match is actually currently being delayed up a little bit for this game. Once this game finishes, we will get into Navi versus Team Tinker. So apologies for that. We had a very, very long 85-minute game, and this series did stretch to the full 3 as well. So unfortunately, we are massively behind schedule. Block out the Ancient Stack, Bristleback. That's going to be his to farm up later on. Smart play. Taking that opportunity away from them. Looks like they're probably going to rotate. Oh, actually, Banana has really bad creeps for ganking, so never mind. The Troll's a bit better. Prefer to have maybe another Centaur or Hellbear Smasher with it. Meanwhile, look at the number of denies he's gotten. It's just insane. 32 and 22. This Storm Spirit is just being shut out in experience alone. Just based off of all the denies that they've gotten. Looks like they're going to go for the kill. They really want to get this Wisp, and that's why they're going all the way around to catch him out. They lead with a stun. Follow-up Hex. They're getting close enough for the net and easily take him down. Meanwhile, the Bristleback, without his little buddy, won't really be able to be all that offensive. Is going to try and go for Banana, but knows it is not a wise idea to dive that. Will be forced away. Move continuing to establish his dominance. Nice little small zip from old Chicken. Dodged that bit of shadow poison out from Moo. Top laner Shaker level 6. Lena level 4. Bottom looks like, oh, they actually caught him, but they already backed up. And Bristleback's too hard to kill anyway, so probably for the best. 8 mid rune for June. He leaving it? Yeah, it looks like he's going to leave it for Moo to have. What a nice guy. Meanwhile, Bounty Rune acquired for the Storm Spirits at bottom lane. So we had a lot of action early on, but things have seemed to kind of stall out. kind of expected with the Wisp and Lina on the side of EP. You're not going to see too many rotations, most likely. The best rotation they could really do at this point is the Lina to middle lane and have the Storm Spirit initiate on the Queen of Pain, follow up with the Light Strike Ray. That would be their best opportunity to get an early kill. But it seems like they're focusing more on trying to get that level 6 into play. And that Laguna Blade, obviously the high amount of burst damage there against a Queen of Pain is a pretty potent ability to have, so I don't blame them for waiting it out. Meanwhile, on the side of Newbee, they did rotate around with the Chen a bit, but EP are now playing pretty defensively, knowing that Newbee are not playing a very farm-intensive game with the Chen, but much more gank-heavy on their side.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Rotate around, Newbee. It looks like they're going to go all the way around here. Try and get the surprise Hex on Olchenka before the ball lightning, and the control is there. Sonic Wave, perhaps a bit unnecessary, but ensures the kill on the Storm Spirit. And thanks to the Chen, they'll also be able to easily take this Tier 1 tower in the middle lane. The trade-off here, if there is one, is the fact that the supports are farming up the jungle, and Bristleback's still getting a good amount of farm bottom, but it's a poor trade, that's for sure, giving away the Storm Spirit like that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Newbee once again have really good Roche taking potential, primarily because they have a troll again, but instead of a Templar Assassin with all that minus armor, they do have the Chen creeps, which are quite nice. Trying to save that haste rune for the Queen of Pain to have. Ring control has been pretty paramount here for Newbee. The big reasons they have established such an early lead, I would say. Gold and experience should be going to their favor, especially after that gank on middle against the Storm Spirit. Meanwhile, our Ember Spirit has completed up these two different stat items that you usually want on the Ember Spirit, the phase boots as well as drums, but he's now going to start building towards a Battle Fury. His CS is looking good, but it's he's going to have a hard time keeping in pace with the Troll, and the Troll, because the farming that the Troll can do is so much better than the Ember Spirit, but on top of that, the Queen of Pain, as she starts picking up more and more kills, and she is going to be going for a fast orchid up against the Storm Spirit. Not really surprising. As she goes for that, should be able to get even more smoke up, 3-man smoke up. They also have Newbee, who are, wow, very aggressive ward here. They're going to rotate all the way around behind this Tier 1 tower. Going to be able to catch the Bristleback, turns his back in time. That's going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but not enough to save him. Ankle Slam holds in Old Chicken. Oh! Old Chicken, his decision to jump in there, not so good. And now the Ember Spirit in some trouble as he's going to jump in and has to jump back out. They give away 3 different kills, and Newbee don't lose a single hero, thanks in part to the Chen heal.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dial structure.
So Tier 1, another Tier 1 tower going to go down. Newbee just kind of rinse and repeat, smoke, gank, and then take the tower. And they do still have the trolls, but they can actually go Tier 2 and at least force out the glyph. Do have the Bristleback trying to go for that mech. We talked about last game with the Tidehunter going for the mech, how that has been seen last. Oh, Jesus, move. Ends up getting caught a little bit here. Storm Spirit going to keep jumping forward, grabs on Shank, hoping to be able to get that additional kill. Banana not going to be able to save his ally this time around. Laguna Blade, more than enough. Rabbit, now he's on the run out. Banana wants to make sure that Rabbit actually stays alive here. With a missed percentage chance, he should be able to. The send back is successful, even if it does cost Banana his own life. So good turnaround there from EP. Newbee getting a bit too greedy, trying to push down that tower.
Radiant's
Not sure if our Lina really realizes what's happened. Oh yeah, he sees it now.
Radiant structures
So gets the ward just
fortified.
before it
Tower is
fades
under
away.
attack.
So not much of a loss for Newbee there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Did a good job controlling that stack for the most part. This other ward, though, was quite recently placed.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And there goes the vision. The aggressive vision of Newbee. Some of it, anyway. They still have this ward up. Though this ward, again, it's kind of weird. It does help them when they push in for the tier 2 tower, right? They see the rotations fairly early on of these heroes.
Tower is under
But
attack.
now that they've lost map control, this ward does very little for them, most likely. If they continue to the point where they don't really feel comfortable pushing past the river, that ward is very ineffective, right? The vision it gives you is inconsequential at that point. Yeah, maybe you see that someone's going to rotate over into the bottom lane and push that out, but it doesn't mean nearly as much as some of these river wards that would be nice to have in situations like this, where Old Chicken is currently farming up their jungle for free because he doesn't have any fear. Sunshang once again going to try and wrap around. He does have the Finger of Death, so it's actually possible then for them to kill Storm Spirit here. Leading in, Finger of Death plus the extra bit of nuke damage. June was there as well with the Blink Dagger. I just figured between the two supports they had enough nuke damage, but June decides he wants that last hit, even if he does already have the Blink Dagger. He'll claim it for himself. This one's going to block out that ancient stack, also giving some vision of the... I think it might just barely see the rune. I think it's right on the edge there. So not only does it block it out, but it also gives vision. It's a really nice ward to have. Potentially sees those rotations... No, it doesn't. Oh, no, it actually does. There's a little bit of beam of light here that's going to spot out the rotations up to top lane. EP will be ready for this now. Whether they decide to back up or they just bring some extra heroes to this top lane, they know that Newbee are going to be 3 or 4 manning here. Two-man smoke up. AP are on their way to... Oh, dear. Moo, who just blew his blink, is going to be caught out here. Couldn't even get off a Sonic Wave. Lockout, but nice response. They're actually going to bring even more forces in. They're going to catch June. EP. Echo Slam goes down, but EP still winning the engagement. Take down 2. Looking for a 3rd in Sansheng, and they'll get it too. Old Chicken. Yeah, okay, there it is. The Sleight of Fist able to finish him off. 3 pickoffs there, all leading with the unfortunate blink over to the side as Queen of Pain runs into those heroes. It gets torn to shreds. I like this pickup fan, kind of interesting. Only going for the 2 levels of Flame Guard because he's not a mid-Ember Spirit and can afford to farm up a little bit more. He chooses to max out Sleight of Fist. There's still a decent amount of magic damage, though. I'm not sure if... Yeah, Fan should still be leveling it up past that. Vanguard mech, this Bristleback is super tanky with the Wisp. If they're tethered, the mech is healing the Wisp as well as the Bristleback. He's jumped up to 500 HP. He's got the Vanguard already keeping him quite healthy. And Newbee, because of Banana's early rotations, he was spending so much time tanking. His mech is going to be a bit later than most. Still, pre-20 minutes isn't too bad. Sansheng's going to have a Blink Dagger soon. June already has his. We talked about that a while ago. Orchid up for the Queen of Pain, and Rabbit's got an S and Y, it looks like. Oh no, he's actually going to go for the straight BKB. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's good versus Storm Spirit, Lina, and Ember, but Kind of expected the norm. Typical S&Y build. Roshan's going to go down here. This is the second Roshan to fall into Newbee's hands, unless EP managed to get some sort of response in time. Troll ultimate goes out. That should give them a signal that this is what's happening 100%. Can Ember Spirit actually jump in? They throw out a Fissure to block in the entrance. Ember Spirit jumps in and is now going to have some issues as Storm Spirit is immediately orchid it out. And the Ember Spirit jumps in to stop Rabid's TP out. They actually could get this kill, but they're going to be inside the pit. Moo managed to get a good jump to it as well. Completely blows up the Wisp. Ember Spirit forced to jump out of the pit. TP's back to base to heal up and come back in a secondary time. But Lina and perhaps Bristleback are already going to be dead. In fact, Fan, oh no, he couldn't even TP out in time. The last right clicks of San Sheng are just barely going to be enough. Meanwhile, Bristleback thought about going for San Sheng here, but is just hoping to be able to escape. The problem is, there's so many disables that even if he is super tanky, he will still end up dying. No! Moo, he actually gets to keep the Aegis, and that's just the cherry on top there. They lost the Troll, but killed 5. And we'll end up making that about a 3,000 gold swing, and a similar story and experience. Plus, they still have the Aegis. A big win there for Team Newbee, 16-13 now, as you can see the dramatic climb upwards in the favor of Newbee. The jump in from the Storm Spirit, so costly, but then they chose to actually continue to go like that. As the rest of Newbee backed out in through the river, they decided, oh, we'll catch the Troll who's inside there, trying to TP out. And that might turn it into a good fight, but then Newbee just immediately responded. They had a good Echo Slam, really good Scream of Pain as well, that I think hit 4 different heroes. Like, them being grouped up inside of that Roshan pit was not a great idea. Old Chicken still trying to go for the Bloodstone. I'm almost wondering if, like, this should have been a Yule Scepter game for him just because of that Orchid. It's really crappy to go for Storm Spirit's Yule Scepter, but it's kind of like the go-between of Bloodstone and the survivability of BKB, right? You don't want to go BKB first, but if you go straight Bloodstone, just because you have stats doesn't mean you have survivability, right? Storm Spirit's already squishy enough. He's locked out by the Orchid. He's probably going to die. Plus, he's got the Hex. The Earth Spirit to deal with. Who's actually going to be caught here? That's going to be the Aegis. Is anything else going to happen out of this one? Newbee are ready to make the jump if necessary, but they just make sure the Queen of Pain gets out. They're good for now. Meanwhile, you look at the stark difference between the net worth of our Storm Spirit, who's still trying to build up his first item, and the Queen of Pain, who's about to get her second item in the BKB. And she's such a dominant force in these fights. EP can't really contest Newbee too often. They can afford to go for like a pick-off here and there, but when it comes to straight-up team fights, with now double BKBs actually, as the Troll finally finishes his. With the double BKBs up, Newbee are going to be unstoppable in these fights. And I think that means Newbee will probably like just group up and push down some towers. They still have yet to get that tier 1 tower in the top lane, which is actually quite weak. They still have, actually never mind, Moo lost the Aegis earlier. That Bloodstone? That is not Bloodstone. That's the soul booster. And it's almost Bloodstone, but he still needs the recipe. And that next fight, like this next fight, if Old Chicken like dies, loses some of those Bloodstone charges, he's actually going to go for Banana here, but they do have the backup of move. Pops the BKB, is going straight for the Wisp. And with the help of June, they'll easily claim that kill. The Storm Spirit just zips his way out. Bristleback, meanwhile, who's playing very aggressively there in the middle lane in response to that jump in from the relocate, will also end up being caught, and Newbee had excellent use of there, the BKB. I thought it might have been a bit preemptive for move, but it works out quite well. Get 2 kills, and now we'll probably take the tier 2 tower in the middle lane without much problems.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Tower has fallen.
I guess just a little bit of sleight of fist spam. I'm not sure what Old Chicken is doing up here, though. I think he's really hoping that he finds like one hero that separates from the rest, but Rabbit is certainly not that hero. Even with the double damage, the Whirling Axe's melee, the miss percentage chance that comes from that is just way too strong. Meanwhile, how's June doing in his next item? Force Staff should be the next one for him, and he will have it in just a minute here. Early gem picked up by Banana. He says it's time to start restricting their vision so they feel a bit more scared. They went for a greedy 3-core lineup in the Bristleback Ember and Storm Spirit. We need to be able to punish them as much as possible. Keep pressure on them. Make sure they don't feel confident spreading out and farming up. SNY Troll with the BKB, that's pretty much like the last item that you need for team fighting. Sometimes you'll see Blink Dagger, but I'm not sure if it's necessary this game. It's more important for them to just push down towers. Besides, they already have plenty of Blink initiators in the Lion and Earthshaker. Sansheng getting himself in a position now. They don't want to go on the Bristleback. Obviously, there's going to be a response from the Wisp, and they may end up over-committing to a move they can't go for. But instead, they're going to go for Fan, and that is a perfect kill. Echo Slam holding in the Bristleback as well. June gets low, but the heal out from the Chen in the mech. Wow, they didn't even blow the Chen ultimate there. That was just June's natural tankiness. I think he had a lot of magic stick charges, actually. So magic stick plus mech, they still have the Chen ultimates. So Newbee might as well push uphill. 2 heroes down for 35 seconds, and this could be a short game number 3 as well.
Bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen.
Melee Rax 1, range Rex 1 as well. Sansheng actually finds another opening. Is going to be able to go for the Lina. They're diving in super deep, but they're not going to be punished. There's no buybacks available. They get an extra 2 kills, and Newbee, a display of force here as they enter into the enemy base at 26 minutes in. Take a lane of Rax, get some kills, and will now potentially take a second lane of Rax. They do have the all 3 cores up for EP. None of the supports are there, but it doesn't seem to matter. Newbee will back up, not winning to throw away the early lead that they built themselves. Over 10,000 net worth, 7,500 experience, things looking good. Move's gonna have a Scythe of Vice here pretty soon. That means just additional lockdown versus the Storm Spirit. This Storm Spirit's screwed. He is so very screwed. This is what happens when you pick up the Storm Spirit early, right? And you do poorly in your lane. Queen of Pain gets ahead of you, gets the Orchid first, shuts you down so you can't actually build up. And then you have just the picks, Lion and Earthshaker. And the Earthshaker actually being an offlaner makes it even more powerful versus the Storm Spirit. They just blink in, blow the hero up, right? Instant Hex, instant Echo Slam stun. And Storm Spirit he's got no response to that. I mean, he doesn't even have an EKB. Even if he did, it's kind of questionable whether or not he'd actually be able to get it off before those initiations occur. Oh, wow. Okay, no signs of ice. Scotty instead. Moo's going to start taking a right-click roll. I guess when you, like, Queen of Pain usually does this, like, much later on into the game, but you've got a troll on your team. You have a lot of incentive to go for more right-click action. They're going to be able to go straight roll and they can try to lock down that Storm Spirit. Echo Slam as well. Just clears out. Fan's able to get himself some distance, but with Storm Spirit and Wisp already down, I don't see how EP managed to turn this engagement. Bristleback, he's going to be battling up against Rabbit. Battling, I say, really just taking a beating. As he also falls, and it looks like they caught the Lina with the Queen of Pain and GG. Newbee. It was kind of a shock when they lost game number 1 in an 85-minute game, but they do come back looking very strong in game number 2 and game number 3 and set the tier 2/tier 3 EP team in their place. This organization, 1TI, they're not going to be shut down in the first round, so they will move on to face up against E.